Good Tuesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone's had a fantastic Tuesday. I am your meteorologist, Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Tuesday evening going into your future. But first, before we go on and talk about the weather, first off, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure that you go and do so. Hit the share button as well. Share with all of the people that you know. Make sure you go and hit the notification bell when you subscribe so you will be notified for whenever we go on and hit. For when we go on and when I go on and post a video. We're at 519. Yes, 519 subscribers. We had a couple new subscribers today, so thank you to whoever those people are. And we're only 6 subscribers away from 25. We are 81 away from 600. So again, 6 away from 525 would be a quarter of the way to 600, and we are 81 away from 600. So one more subscriber and we'll be at 520, so we'll at least be 2/10 of the way there. But let's stop talking about that. Let's go on and actually talk about the reason why you're here tonight, and that's because of our weather. So let's go on and talk about that. Good Tuesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, one has had a fantastic Tuesday. I am your meteorologist, Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your Tuesday evening going into your future. Now, looking at the radar right now, we do have some rainfall going on for places like Lawrence, South Carolina, Greenwood, Gaffney, York, going up here in Walhalla and Seneca. Pickens also has some rainfall as well. Santee, Bowman, Holly Hill, Williston, and Springfield as well has some rainfall and some shower and downpour activity going on throughout those regions. If we go on and look at what's going on throughout the entire United States, we do have some rainfall going on in Massachusetts as well as Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island, going into New York City, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia, Maryland, surrounding Baltimore, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida. So pretty much the entire East Coast states are receiving some rainfall right now. Texas also has some rainfall, and a lot of people out here in the West, from the Four Corners region to the northern central plains, where we actually do have a storm going on up there, to over here in Northern California and Oregon as well. And we have some storm reports in Montana and Idaho, but especially over here inside of South Dakota, they do have some storms moving through there. Going to our cloud cover, we do have some cloud cover inside the upstate of South Carolina, pretty widespread, actually. And if we go to the PD region or the Grand Strand, like Florence, Myrtle Beach, it's actually pretty clear over there. Low country, unless you're in the western low country, you're probably nice and clear as well. Midlands, especially like the eastern Midlands and maybe the central Midlands near like Columbia, you're probably good over there as well in terms of cloud cover. Going into our cloud cover for the future, as we go in and push this forward, you can see how that cloud cover will, as the night progresses, that cloud cover will move its way east, and pretty much the entire state of South Carolina will be covered with cloud cover tomorrow. So, for sure, there's not really going to be too much sunshine tomorrow. Current temperature right now, 78 in Columbia as well as 78 in Orangeburg, 78 in Summerville as well as 79 in Charleston, 80 in Georgetown, 80 in Murrells Inlet as well as 80 in Myrtle Beach, 80 in Conway, 80 in North Myrtle Beach as well as 77 in Union, 76 in Greenville, 78 in Lancaster as well as 77 in Greenwood and Aiken, 78 in Orangeburg as well as 80 in Beaufort and even 80 in Hilton Head Island. Going into your low temperatures for tonight, 72 in Anderson as well as 71 in Greenville, 70 in Spartanburg as well as 73 in Columbia, 74 in Sumter, 74 in Moncks Corner as well as 77 in Charleston, 75 in Georgetown, 77 in Myrtle Beach, and we also have around 76 near Hilton Head Island as well. Going into our rainfall, you can see a good amount of rainfall actually is possible as we move through from Tuesday 8 p.m. all the way to Wednesday at 8 p.m. 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch for a lot of regions like Sumter, Florence, Orangeburg, Kingstree, and even Myrtle Beach is included in there. 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch for places like Charleston and Georgetown. Maybe even a quarter of an inch to a half an inch for places like Winsboro, Newberry, going into, well, actually it seems like those are really the only two regions. Oh, and Myrtle Beach, not Myrtle Beach, Moncks Corner, not Myrtle Beach, Moncks Corner is inside of that quarter of an inch to a half an inch, then half an inch to an inch For Columbia, going into Aiken, Barnwell, Greenwood, Lawrence, as well as Greenville and Spartanburg. Rock Hill's included in there. And then maybe even an inch to maybe 2 inches is possible as we move through, like in the western side of South Carolina. Just an isolated 1 to 2 inches is possible over there. As we go and look at the severe weather for tonight, I'm looking at this now. We had a marginal risk, and pretty much it is still there. It just shrunk a little bit. So here is the new one right here. You can see that there's a marginal risk of severe weather still in effect for Greenville, Spartanburg, Rock Hill, just in north of Columbia as well. Anderson's included, Clemson's included as well. And those regions really will only have to watch out for some isolated wind gusts of up to 40 to 60 mile per hour with some storms that move through there as we move through tonight. And that's pretty much it in terms of severe weather. Everyone else just has a chance for regular thunderstorm tonight. Tomorrow, Wednesday, July the 2nd, we do have a thunderstorm risk tomorrow for the entire state of South Carolina. Everyone will have a shot of receiving a thunderstorm tomorrow, and same thing Thursday. Thursday, July the 3rd, 2025, everyone has a chance to receive a thunderstorm on Thursday, and we're getting close to that. July the 4th outlook, we'll see that tomorrow. Going into our models, not models, but excessive rainfall first. So we're going to look at this right here. You can see that we do actually have a slight risk of excessive rainfall pretty much over here for like Greenville, Anderson, Rock Hill, Spartanburg, Greer, Greenwood. All these places are included for some scattered flash flooding with some storms that move through there. And that goes probably to around 12 o'clock in the morning-ish, and then they'll issue a new one. And then we also have a minor flooding risk over here for like Pageland, South Carolina. Columbia is included, Blythewood, Lexington, Edgefield, and Aiken is also included in there as well. If we go into tomorrow, the entire state of South Carolina has a chance for minor flooding tomorrow. For Wednesday, for Thursday, we have like a little sliver. That's kind of getting in just to the west of Hilton Head Island, just to the south of Ridgeland, Bluffton as well. So not much, but like right there on that South Carolina-Georgia line. And past that, that's it. So let's go on now and look at the models. So time is in the top right corner of your screen. Make sure you go on and take a look at that. As you go on and push this forward as we go through all the way through around 9 to 10 p.m. Shower and thunderstorm activity continues in the upstate and the Midlands. And by the time we get to around 7 o'clock in the morning when my new forecast update comes out, there will still be showers going on. As we continue though, that will be like in like the Midlands, somewhere around there. And if you go to around 10 to 11 a.m. going to noon, thunderstorms are still kicking off and like just to the south of Rock Hill or somewhere in that vicinity. Again, these pop-up showers and thunderstorms that you can, see during the summertime, they're probably not going to be exact. They may not even be in the same region. Like for example, go to the 22Z, the thunderstorm is instead going to be like over here. But on this one, it shows it around like over here. So it is definitely a huge jump. So that's why I'm saying you cannot take the exact locations literally. So that was my apologies for saying that it would be south of Rock Hill, because we honestly really just don't know. As we go to around 1 p.m., though, this is where this model run ends. Like we go to another one, though. It says that pretty much these thunderstorms will still be going on. As we go off even further, though, as we go to around 5, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., those thunderstorms will make their way through the low country of South Carolina by around 6, 7 p.m., even the Grand Strand around, again, 7, 8 p.m. And by the time you get to around 12 o'clock in the morning tomorrow night, there will still be shower activity going on. And then finally by around 3 to 4 a.m. is finally when all those shower activity will probably move off. But noon on July the 3rd, those showers and storms will be right back. So we're not going to be done with this for a hot minute. This was obviously expected. If you've been watching the evening forecast updates, you know that this, is going to be a thing. Let's go on and look at our model for the long-term future, so like the next 300 to 400 hours. As we go on and push this forward, you can see that shower and thunderstorm activity continues on. And by the time you get to around July the 5th, again, this is only one model run. I don't know if you remember that low pressure, that area of tropical tropical disturbance that we've been watching, which actually has increased. We'll talk about that right after we're done with this. But it actually just kind of just fades out and just brings us a lot of moisture. According to this model run right here, against July the 7th through the 9th. Again, one model run, so you can't really say a whole lot about it. But as we just continue going through it, I mean, this is just a bunch of rainfall and thunderstorm activity. But there is definitely some instances of some heavy rainfall, that is for sure. And some system may come in and just bring us a lot of rainfall. Now, in terms of like severe weather, obviously, that's also a possibility. You know, with these storms, especially during the summertime, the atmosphere is always going to be kind of capable. So you have to still watch for severe weather with these, even these systems right here where it doesn't look all that impressive. Like you usually would see with like a fall storm to where like you can tell, okay, yes, that will definitely cause some severe weather. These could definitely cause some as well. But again, for right now, we just have that marginal risk. Let's go on now and talk about the tropics since we were just bringing it up. So you can see here is no longer in the yellow. We are now code orange. So that's a 40 to a 60% chance. It says right here, an area of low pressure could develop near the southeastern U.S. or Atlantic or Gulf Coast over the weekend along a weakening front. Although significant development is not anticipated, a tropical or subtropical depression could form in this region over the weekend or early next week. While the system drifts and moves a little, um, while the system drifts or moves a little, regardless of development, heavy rainfall is possible across portions of the southeastern U.S., particularly across the west central Florida coast. So Florida's for sure just going to receive a lot of rainfall from the system just in as a whole. So I mean, I might pull it up just once we talk about what's going on throughout the entire U.S. But this has a 0% chance of forming through the next 48 hours, but has a 40% chance of forming during the next 7 days. So, we still are going to have to watch this, pretty closely, even though, again, there's no direct threat to South Carolina. And there have been, the National Weather Service offices in South Carolina have actually mentioned it and said that they're watching a possible low pressure development off the southeast coast this weekend. And it's only a pretty medium, well, now a medium tropical risk for now. So, but for South Carolina, pretty low because obviously this thing could go anywhere. But it most likely will bring some impact to South Carolina, rather than just be rain or minor flooding or whatever it may be. Could still potentially bring us some weather impacts, I should say. But that's it in terms of the tropics. Let's go on and look at the crazy score for tonight. If you have no idea what the crazy score is the score that we see how crazy the weather is inside of South Carolina, and it's at a 32. No, I'm not going live tonight. But it says obviously lingering showers and storms are possible inland, but most will most likely fade, but will continue into the morning period like we talked about. Patchy fog and low clouds may develop overnight, so definitely watch for that. It's going to be warm and muggy, and then isolated downpours or a stray storm cannot be ruled out, obviously, what's already going on. So, pretty much a normal night in South Carolina, just rainfall and humidness, which we are used to at this point. Let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. As we go on and pull that up right now, Germany Lover says, hi, hello to you. Mr. Chris says, gritty evening from Monk's Corner, was really hot here today and could use some rain. AJP, hope your day went well. It did go well. It was a very active day today, but overall, still got through it. My name says, Lil J, thanks to you and your dad. Let's hope it is not so hot in the morning tomorrow. Well, just determining on how hot it's going to be in the morning. I mean, just looking at low temperatures, like I said, I mean, where we are, it's going to be like in the mid 70s, so probably will be just as it probably would be just how it was kind of like this morning, maybe if not a little bit warmer than that. Trail says, greetings everyone, greetings to you. Mr. Chris says, we're just talking to Trail. Trail says, I can't take this heat. Yeah, this heat so far, I've been able to deal with it. It hasn't been too bad for me. Because, usually, I can usually take the heat. It's the cold that I really don't like. Just being like 40, 30 degrees, I don't really like that too much. But 90, 100 degrees, not terrible. 110 degrees, that's where I, have to say, kind of stop. But 100 degrees, I probably could take that easily. That's even just my trust all as well. Pretty interesting day today. I was out pruning my rose bushes and did not realize it, but a wasp nest was in it, and they tore my hand up. All is well though. Well, hopefully next time that you go out and prune your rose bushes, you make sure next time that there's no wasp or unwanted animals inside of them, rather be ants or anything like that. Because crazy thing was that while I was at a piano recital, there was actually a woman who got stung by wasps while I was doing my performance. So it was an interesting thing to hear while I was playing, and I just hear somebody screaming while I was playing. But enough about that. Um, let's go on now and talk about the three areas outside of South Carolina, that being San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia. So let's go on now and talk about those three. If you have no idea why we talk about those three, it's because we have people from those three locations that are watching. Starting off with San Antonio first, with low temperatures tonight 75, high temperatures tomorrow at 89, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 75. There is a slight chance of thunderstorms tonight, and then there also is a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow during the day. And then there also is a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow night as well. Now, in terms of severe weather, there is no severe weather that is expected, but there is a chance for some minor flooding tonight. That actually kind of just popped up because this was not here yesterday at all, I believe. But yes, there is a chance for some minor flooding tonight if obviously you have not received any rainfall already and have not received minor flooding already. That is in the forecast. So, that thunderstorm that might just pop by may bring, some minor flooding to some locations. Raleigh being the next one, low temperatures tonight 73, high temperatures tomorrow 85, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 70. Thunderstorms are likely tonight. Thunderstorms are also expected tomorrow, and thunderstorms are also likely tomorrow night as well. In terms of excessive rainfall, you do have a chance for some minor flooding tonight and tomorrow, but that's it. Severe weather, no severe weather is expected. Well, actually tonight, yes, there is a minor risk for some, wind gusts 40 to 60 miles per hour. Pretty low, but it's there. And then Philadelphia, low temperatures tonight 72, high temperatures tomorrow 82, and low temperatures tomorrow night 69. Showers are expected tonight, and the chance of thunderstorms tomorrow during the day. There is no severe weather that is expected until Thursday. Thursday, you do have a chance for some isolated severe storms. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, some heavy flash flooding is actually expected as we go through tonight. Now, unless they just updated and changed it, but for right now it's still there. So yes, you do have a moderate risk, which is actually a 40% chance of some flash flooding. So that's actually pretty high. So that's definitely nothing to mess around with. Definitely could be some isolated, life-threatening flooding for some places as well. So make sure you're watching out for that. And past that, that's it in terms of excessive rainfall. What's going on throughout the entire U.S., though? Scattered strong and severe storms, excessive rainfall, and flooding are expected across parts of the mid-Atlantic and to the northeast today. Flood watches are in effect. Heat will continue to impact the west today. Heat advisories are also in effect for portions of the Intermountain West, and extreme heat warnings are in effect for Arizona and southeastern California. So places like Nevada, Utah, Montana, Idaho, Washington, and Oregon are all inside, and California are all inside of some sort of, I believe that's a red flag warning, and some heat, some overall just hot temperatures as you go up there. Severe weather also going on inside of South Dakota and Nebraska. And then we also were talking about Florida over there on the western of Florida coast. They could potentially receive 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rainfall down there. So that's going to be a lot of rainfall, and that's from obviously that tropical system that we were looking at. And so that's pretty much all that I have to say in terms of everyone else. Let me go on and check the chat one more time. I don't see anything else. You probably have not, or maybe you have, maybe you haven't, I'm not quite sure. But if you have taken a look inside the chat, you probably have seen that we have top fans now. This is, I guess, a feature that YouTube added. I know some other people got it, obviously, before me, but I guess because we're starting to get to that, getting kind of big with now 519 subscribers now. I guess they decided to go on and give me access to it now. And so pretty much the more that you type and the more that you're active inside of the chat, that will actually be your rank actually inside the chat. So like, for example, Mr. Kratos is number 1, Trails number 2, and then Jeremy Lovers number 3. So those are the top 3 in the chat for tonight for the top fans. So that's a pretty neat thing that's done by YouTube. Again, I did not make this at all. Completely done by YouTube. So that's something that I just saw. But besides just going on and do that, make sure you go and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, share with all the people that you know. We're at 519 subscribers. We're only 1 subscriber away from 520. We can get there tonight. We are 6 subscribers away from 525, and then we are obviously 81 subscribers away from getting to 600, which is obviously the main goal, being 600. So let's go on and get there. I will be back tomorrow morning with your Wednesday morning forecast update. Make sure that you are there, and also tomorrow night as well for our 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time live forecast.